something serious or something that's related to coaching, or which is what I do. But yeah, so it's been very interesting. And then liking other people's pages as well, or commenting, which is one of the suggestions.
Cool. Yeah, it's amazing how simple it actually is to start getting in the algorithm in a way, because if you just like or comment, the algorithm starts picking up your activity and starts saying, but hello, this person's active. And then when you put your posts on, it starts saying, hey, well, maybe I should be sharing that and put that in front of a few more people. And it is, but like Sunil says, consistency is the key. Just keeping that going. I mean, you don't have to be glued to the social media, all day, but we do need to be consistently at play in it. And anybody else had a success?
No, I think I shared it yesterday or the day before, where I took whatever post about this book that's been out of print and republishing, and I did it over three platforms, and I was really surprised. Even though on the Facebook one had a lot more interest than my usual post. So yeah, it's
awesome. That's what
engaging people.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And is there any questions?
I do have a question about hashtags. Sorry, Madine, do you want to? Okay. I don't know how hashtags actually work. I know, like, when do you put hashtags in? Why do you put hashtags in? I know after I listened to Sunil's, training on that. So that was one of the questions that I was going to ask today is there an example of how you use a hashtag? Because I don't know when you would choose to use it.
Well, if you're using Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, you should be using hashtags, as well as Twitter. You should be using hashtags. It's basically a link that becomes like a search function. All right, so you put the little hashtag in, and then that becomes something that people search for. So like, if I'm a big birder, so if I'm looking for anything to do with birding or the latest posts on birding or whatever, I'll go into the search thing and I'll tag in like hashtag bird life or hashtag birding South Africa, or hashtag something, and it'll bring up anybody who has used that hashtag on their post. It'll bring up their posts into the search column so that I can just go through. So I might not be following the person, but I will be I will find people who, even if they just had one post on birding, that I'll see their things and be able to like their content or share whatever it is. So it's a bit like a link that helps to search for things. These days, you can also follow a hashtag. So if you particularly like, hashtag Throwback Thursdays, like you like seeing everybody's memories of what's happened or throwing back to things that have gone past, then you can follow the link hashtag Thursday, and then you can see when those posts come up all the time. So that's kind of what it does. So if you're using, it helps with the search function to be found, and it helps you connect you to the right people. Okay, because I'm not going to be, for example, I'm not interested in, I don't know, like construction maybe. Okay, so I'm not going to go and follow hashtags or look for hashtags that have construction. Okay, so, but people who need that can look for that. And they can look for specific things like construction or building roads or whatever it is that they're looking for. They look for specific hashtags linked to that. So it helps you to be found more easily, and it helps you to be grouped more clearly. And it helps also with the algorithms for you to be grouped more clearly. So they start putting you in front of people that are more interested in those things on a regular basis. So I would guess that you would need a hashtag like hashtag life coach. It would be good to go and Google hashtags for life coaches and see what they come up, and look for the top ones that rank. But you also want to use ones that are not just the ones that have millions of posts, but maybe ones that have like 100,000 posts or even 1,000 posts. Add in some of the smaller ones, because then they're probably more niche specific and you'll probably get a more targeted client.
So how would I do that? So that where do you put the hashtag? So if I'm posting, say, do I post anything that I feel I would like to attract my market, or what would it look like? Where would I put the hashtag?
So when you do your post, when you write your post, in that little post block, if you put the hashtag there and then right next to it, whatever you want, on most of the platforms, well, on all of them actually that I know of, it'll come up with hashtags. As soon as you put that little hashtag and you start typing, it'll give you options and you can choose from those. And like Sunil says, if you choose ones that come up, then you know that they're not banned ones. Okay, first of all, so you can start with that. But you can also go and Google specific ones for your industry. Go and Google the top ones and write those ones in, and they should come up, and then you can just click on them and add them in. So it's in the post section. You don't add it like a tag or a picture or anything. You write it in the written section of your post.
Oh, okay. I'll have to fiddle with that.
And then it becomes like a link. You'll see it turns blue, or it turns whatever color you've got it set to, but it changes color so that people know that that's a link that they, you know, that they've got on, and the algorithm then knows. So it's good to write it, you know, hashtag, and then right next to it, all the words together. So hashtag Throwback Thursday, like it's one word, and then you put a space, you put another hashtag. Hashtag right next to the hashtag, you start the word. You can say Thursday and then another space or whatever it is. But make sure that you've left a space between different hashtags so it can pick up what is actually the hashtag, and put it in your post. And you can put up to 30 of them. I personally don't like it. I feel like it's cluttered, but it's you can go up to 30 of them in most of the platforms. I put about, I usually range between 5 and 10. And I find that that works for me. You can also create your own unique hashtag. Okay, so like for my businesses, I use the business name also as a hashtag. And it takes time because it's only me posting with that hashtag at the moment. But eventually people who come on the training start using that hashtag too. And then it starts spreading so that people can become more specific. So if you want to find out about my training, you can actually put in, you know, hashtag Sean Cade training, and you should come up with some posts about our stuff. So people can become more specific, and you can create your own hashtag, which also can become quite popular. I mean, that's how each hashtag started eventually. You know, initially everybody started with, there was no hashtag like that. So that's how you can use them to kind of become better known and be part of the cycle and part of the algorithm to get better known.
And do you just put it into the post, into the same post section?
Yeah, when I'm doing my hashtags, I just put it there.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as I've got that separation of the hashtags, you know, the space between the hashtags, the algorithm will pick it up to say, hey, you know, that's cool. And sometimes you come out with a cool hashtag that's really popular. And hashtags it's how the younger generation speak. So you'll even find if you follow a younger generation person on social media, that they even use the hashtag in their sentence of their post. So they'll be like, I'm so excited, it's hashtag Throwback Thursday. This is what I've got to share with you, you know, and that works. It probably works even better if you can do that, but your sentence still has to make sense. So it takes a little bit of thought and planning to get that right.
Yeah, I've used it for, so I just checked, I'm having issues of trying to switch on. It's a new laptop and I don't realize I have to slide something for the camera. Is with books that we've published, or we're having a book launch, and it'll be, I give a hashtag to the book title. And it's amazing the kind of interest that that's generated as well. And that's, yeah, don't do it as a separate hashtag. It's in the post itself, and that works.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that there's some amazing hashtags for books out there. You know, if you look for publishers and or not even just publishers, but like if you look for the book world, because there's avid readers out there that follow everything, and they'll follow specific hashtags. So we just got to find, you know, that's your market, that's your niche. The thing with social media is we all try to be too broad, and Sunil says to us all the time, Don't follow your niche, target your audience, be specific. But we all think, oh, but we're going to lose somebody out there. And I did this for years. I was like, oh no, I'll speak broadly. You cannot speak accurately and well when you speak broadly. You've got to be so specific. So I speak now specifically to new managers, because that's who I help. Managers who are new in their job. And that's how I kind of advertise my things, is I put that out there, and it works so much better. And as a benefit or an added bonus to that, you get in people that are not new managers. They've been managing for 20 years or whatever the case is, but they also want to learn and get that better thing. But I don't focus on that. I focus on that new manager. This is how I'm helping you. This is the first time you've had to do a disciplinary. This is the first time you've had to do this. And you help them, and I focus very specifically on that. And it works brilliantly. But we tend to just, go too broad, with our, I'm a trainer, and we leave it with hashtags. Like, I still use hashtag training is one of my big ones, because it's a big one out there, but I'm more specific, like managers training or new managers training or whatever too, along with those hashtags. So don't be too broad, and give it time to be consistently brought up and built up. It does take time. Maydeen, you had a question earlier. Do you want to ask?
I did. I wanted to ask, in Facebook, you have when you come into your section, you can either do a news feed or a story. What is the difference between those two? Which one do you choose, and why?
So a news feed is a post that will go onto your news feed, and it will stay there always. So I can go back years on your news feed, and I can look for everything. A story is something that you put up, and within 24 hours it's gone, unless you save it or you pin it through. Okay, so a story is Facebook's way of trying to keep up with like WhatsApp status and Instagram stories and, all those things. And it's for something that you just want to pop up, like, a quick, like, hey, book today for this. And it's a quick little thing. And in 24 hours, it goes away unless you specifically ask it to stay. So a newsfeed will be there permanently. A story is something quick. It's called story because it's not supposed to be advertising. It's supposed to be something more personal, like a little 5-second video clip of, hey guys, I'm so excited, I'm on my way to the social media session, see you there, and leave that up as a story, just so that you've got some engagement. And remember, video and live get you much more engagement much quicker. That's why Sunil's stuff always goes onto Facebook Live, because it shows that he's continually using that profile, and it gets much more engagement. And those live things go specifically to your people who are following you, all of them. It doesn't go via the algorithm. So you're not losing that percentage. And with stories, usually people that know you will look and share and like, because it'll be right there at the top. As I open up people that I know, their stories are right there. So it's kind of targeting a more personal approach, a quicker, short little clips approach. Like you would a WhatsApp status, where you scroll through people's things.
So I'm interrupting because I'm going to have to go.
Okay, no problem.
It starts at 9. So I just didn't want it to disappear and everyone thinks, oh, Adele doesn't want to be here when Sunil isn't. So it's not that. Have a wonderful weekend. No, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Take care. Tomorrow.
Have a good Friday.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
So does that help, Maydeen?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Cool. Helped. Have you got anything you want to add or say?
I got late into the conversation. For some reason, I couldn't connect.
Oh, yeah, we all struggled this morning because Sunil had lost his network, and then I'd had to swap to mine, and it's been a mess.
Not a problem. That's the joys of technology, isn't it?
Oh, wonderful when it works, and a nightmare when it doesn't.
Definitely. No, I listen to what you say, and I get video is the thing to do. I'm just lazy to create the content and actually put my face on there and speak.
Yeah, it's helped. I battled also initially. Hey, I'm actually the world's biggest introvert. I would rather be alone not talking to people, not saying boo to a ghost. The biggest complaint in my family is that I never talk or say anything to them.
We're doing very well now.
It's not that I'm socially awkward or shy. It's just that that's what I prefer to do. And it took me a long time to get. I started doing online training just before COVID started, and it was a real struggle. But COVID pushed me into it because I had to do my training online. I couldn't do it in person. And then I thought, well, you know what, I may as well just make a video. And you know, it's not live talking to people, but I'll do it. And initially it was really awkward. I'm not going to lie. It was like really strange. And I felt like really stupid just talking to myself in the room and the camera. And, you know, then you think you're your own worst enemy because you think that you don't look great and, oh, this is a nightmare and blah and blah and blah. You know, it goes on. And it took me about 3 months solidly of trying to get out my first like 2-minute little video. Serious, not lying. And then, but I learned so much in that. And I just was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I have to do this. And we're just going to persevere through this. And then it got easy. And of course, the editing process was a long and steep learning curve. But it does get easier. And now, you know, I'll make a 5-minute video literally in like 10 minutes or so and get it out. But it is worth it. It is worth it. I am yet to do live stuff. I have not. There is so much value in it, but I cannot bring myself to do that. Right now, I just cannot bring myself to do that. But I can put videos up, and the engagement in them is huge. And I've now got like, I think we've got 5 courses now, nearly a 6th course online full time that sells, because we're consistent in getting that out. So don't feel afraid. And you know what? I had to get past the kind of imposter syndrome. It's like, why would somebody want to listen to me about this? You know, and it's weird. We don't feel it in our day-to-day lives when we're dealing with our customers, because we know we can help our customers because we know who our customers are. But we do feel like an imposter when we're speaking to unknown people. And we're like, well, there's probably somebody out there who knows more than me. And you know what? There probably is. But is that person willing to gather the information and take the time to put something together to share? And that's where video helps, is that it's a concise, hopefully clear application of your knowledge to help people. And people will pay for that, and they're attracted to that. And it doesn't matter if you only know a certain element of it. If you're helpful and you share that, it'll go a long, long way. And then it actually doesn't matter that I don't know everything about management, because I never will. It actually just matters that I'm helping, and it gets easier. So I'm going to encourage you to give it a try. And you know what? Watch it back and cry, because it's cringeworthy. It really is. I still hate hearing my voice. I still hate it. Like when I'm editing, I'm like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of this, you know. But it gets better, and you put out stuff there, and then you're the first time, and it'll take months and months and months and months. But the first time somebody comes back and says, oh, thank you so much, that helped me so much, then you sold. Then it's done. Then you're not worried anymore. Then you just do what you know you can do, and do it to the best of your ability, and just help. And you know, remembering that none of us are perfect, but the position we're coming from is to help, and then that goes a long way.
Awesome.
So
Thank
keep
you.
going.
Well said.
Yeah.
And things, there's so much technology that helps to make it easier. I mean, making a TikTok video, I haven't put any up yet, but I've got a whole bunch coming. But making it is easy. It's actually, they make it so incredibly easy to do that. Using Canva to edit short videos and make them look good. I mean, that one that's Neil's done on his little social media day that's coming up, that was done on Canva. Don't need anything fancy. Record on your computer, put it on Canva and do it. It's just, the technology is so helpful to make life easier. And if you're stuck, of course, let us know and we'll help.
Cool. Yeah, the biggest thing that I've ever had with everything that I do is creating the content. That's
Yes.
yeah, I look at other people's content and I think, wow, that's amazing. And now I must create my own, and I'm stuck already. I don't even think of what to do. I'm already what do I put up? What's good? What's not good? What's too much? What's too little?
It's going to be terrible the first time, so you don't have to worry about what's good and what's not good. But we need to start. Everybody has to get past that stage. But you know what helped me initially was to ask myself questions. So I was like, so I put somebody specific in my mind, like somebody I'm working with, or somebody, you know, a client that's currently on my mind. So what are they struggling with? Oh no, well, they're really struggling to delegate. And I'll say, okay, so why are they struggling to delegate? You know, and I just wrote these questions down and I answered them. And then I said, you know, why can't they do this? Why can't they do that? And then within 5 minutes, it comes your content together. Or you know the answer, because I know how to talk my customer through learning to delegate. So I just, by answering those questions, I built my content. And so I find it easier to do that. I just put somebody in my mind and I say, oh, well, so-and-so's got so much conflict at work. Why have they got so much conflict at work? Oh, no, they actually don't understand that different generations work differently. Okay, well, how can I get them to understand that there's different generations in the workplace? And I just start with that one simple question. And I'm like, okay, well, I know there's 5 generations in the workplace and these is what they are. And this is what they expect in the workplace. And it becomes easy. So just, start maybe by answering questions to yourself. You don't necessarily have to answer the question for the person. You can, that's cool. Because how to and questions are great for video ranking. So you could say how to delegate better, or how to, I don't know. You do finance, right?
Yes, long-term insurance.
So I mean, there's well, there you go. There's loads of stuff people don't know about long-term insurance. It needs somebody out there to really say, well, like start. What is long-term insurance? Seriously, like people don't know. Like I might have an idea, but I actually don't really know. Who is it necessary for? And do little videos on those and start there. Just answer one question at a time. What is long-term insurance? There's 2 or 3 minutes for you. Then simple. Yeah. And then go to your next one. Who needs long-term insurance would be my next question. Do I need it? You know, and so on and so forth. And that's how you start doing that.
Awesome.
And then people will comment on your stuff, and then you'll realize, oh, actually, I need a checklist for this. So then you create a little checklist for them to download. Yeah, let it grow a little bit organically in that way, so that you're actually meeting their needs. Because there's a lot we can plan, but it's not. It's like in my mind, what I would need. It's not necessarily what they would need. So I often just let people tell me on the courses, you know, it would be really nice to have this, and it would be really nice. And then I'm like, oh, well, I can do that. And you know, you make it as a downloadable, or you make it as a printable, or whatever you want.
Awesome.
So
thank you so much.
Just one step at a time. Start with one question, and let's do that. And that's that. Before you know it, you'll have herds of content out there, and it hasn't taken you a long time. Serious. Don't worry about being at 300 videos. Worry about getting number 1 out. That's
the biggest thing that I'm looking at, the niche that I'm in, is to create something to get a lead from somebody that says, yes, I want to speak to you. That's what I need at the moment. So
you know what, you don't get to that either first time. So I would start with the questions. What is long-term insurance? What, you know, whatever you know your industry, you know the questions that people ask, you know what people struggle with, you know that, you even know the fears that people have with insurance. Like, is it really worth it? No, they're never going to pay out, you know, whatever the case is. So tackle those. And in building that, you will find along the way that one thing that will get you the leads, that will get the download, so that you can have that. But you got to help, like Sunil says, you know, it's like 80% helping and 20% selling. You've got to help a lot before you can actually get to the sale, because you're an expert, but people don't know you. So they've got to get to know you. They've got to trust you. And they've got to get to the point where they say, you know, helped really made me understand insurance. He seems honest and integral. I'm going to actually contact him.
Okay, awesome.
But we have to start with that one first, eh? You know, it's like, how do we eat an elephant? The elephant is our big download lead generator, but we don't eat him and create him all in one go. We build him, or we eat him one bite at a time. So start with those small little ones. Start getting them out on your YouTube, on your WhatsApp, on your blog, whatever you have, everywhere you have it. The best seller to start with is your family and friends, because they will watch it and they will comment on it. And that's a good start, because that gets that rolling in the algorithms.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
So don't be shy to
Appreciate
share
it.
it.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome, Hub.
So can
Crystal,
I just
you're saying
ask a quick
record
question
video?
while we're talking about videos?
Yes.
What is the, if you're using Canva, you know, you're not doing a 1 minute or 3 minute, what is your length that you can go to? Can you go to 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
I actually am
Or-
not sure on Canva, because I don't use Canva to edit. I only use Canva to insert. Because I have a full editing program, because I do online courses. So I took the time to actually get a proper editing full thing. I only use it to insert, and I think if you just insert a video into one of their templates, you can do it. You can go up to 10 minutes, I think.
Okay.
But I stand to be corrected.
Sure,
I'll have to look that up. Look that up for you. But Crystal, you were asking something about where do you record your videos and how do you make your videos? So I do two things. I record with my computer camera, because I've got a big enough computer to do that, and it should be clear enough. And then but at the same time, I also record using my iPhone, because that's a bigger camera than most video cameras that I can afford at this stage. I saved money to go out to buy a video camera to specifically video, and none of them within my price range had a bigger camera than my iPhone. So I actually use my iPhone to record. And I specifically bought a lapel mic that plugs into the iPhone and does beautiful crystal clear sound. And I actually, if I'm doing a training course, I actually go down the road to my local church and I use their cry room to record, because it's soundproof. So I don't get any, they let me use it for free. They're very kind and very supportive. And I just set up there with a blank wall in the background, and I get no interruption and no, loud noises or unusual things on my recording. And that's how I record. If I'm doing something quick for like a symposium or something like that, like for women in business, if I'm doing a quick training session, I actually just use PowerPoint to record. So it uses my computer's camera. I've got my PowerPoint there, and I use the record settings in it. I've actually got a little flyer that I created for how to do that. So if you want that, just email me and I'll send that to you. But you just record on there, easy peasy. And then when you put it, before you save it, you can actually move the video where you want it. So when I do PowerPoint presentations that I know are going to be, recorded, I actually make a little block for me, wherever is best on the PowerPoint. And then when I'm finished recording, I just move myself from that little video block into that block. So it looks like I'm part of the PowerPoint. So it just depends on what I'm doing. But like I said to you, everybody has these tools. The Zoom is free, Canva is free, PowerPoint most people have on their computers. You can record in Zoom. What I don't like about the recording in Zoom is that it timestamps everything at the bottom, and it's hard to cover up because it's very long and very big. And my logo and stuff won't fit over that. Otherwise, I would record in Zoom if that didn't bug me, because Zoom actually I can fit my whole face, into the presentation like without a block, which is really cool. But I don't use it just purely because of the timestamp. If you don't mind it, then it's easy to record in Zoom too. I think we've lost Crystal.
Yeah, it looks like she's been
Frozen.
frozen.
How did your meeting in Joburg go?
No, we're supposed to do it today, but we've actually moved it to Tuesday.
Oh, you've moved it to
Tuesday. We've included Michelle to come in as well.
Okay, cool. That's
Can
awesome.
I ask you to email me that presentation, the PowerPoint?
Just
to
pop
put
your
video
email
into
address in the chat there, and I'll send
do it right
to you.
now. There we go.
Cool.
Thank you so much for your session.
No worries. Let me just write all those down. Smart teams. 2 T's. We lost you, Crystal. Did you hear what I said? You unmute.
Sorry, my battery on my computer went dead, so I had to quickly plug myself in again. And it was just a juicy part when you said the thing about Zoom, because I've used Zoom before for a recording. So I'm interested as to why Zoom didn't work for you.
Oh no, it works beautifully. And I actually love that you can insert yourself completely into the presentation while you're recording. I just don't like the big timestamp. It has a massive date and time running stamp at the bottom when the recording comes out, and I have nothing to cover that. My logo is not big enough or anything like that, but that's the only reason. The only reason. Otherwise, I'll send, just pop your email in the chat box there, and I'll send you, because I've also got a how to record on Zoom little quick steps. It's very easy to do.
I really appreciate that.
Okay, I'll pop that email to you. It won't be today. I'm going to run out just now, but it will be, by the end of the weekend. Yeah, I'll send it through.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you get on with your Fridays.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take
Thanks
care.
for your help.
Have a wonderful Friday.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
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 Bye.